Hello, Drag Racers.
I'm Ross.
And I'm Maddox.
And for all of Season 4 of RuPaul's Drag Race, we will be bringing you our weekly updates on our top 3 moments of every episode, our favorite shade moment of the week,
our favorite queen of the week, our favorite costume on the runway, and our predictions for next week.
So stay tuned.
What do you want? What's the tea? You tell me what's the tea. What's the tea? You tell me what's the tea.
So, what was your first moment of the week?
My first favorite moment of the week was Milan just taking over for Kenya. Poor little Kenya. No one can understand her, first of all. And she didn't know what she was doing, and Milan just took over the whole challenge. It was like, oh, okay, I'm helping her, but Milan was really the team captain and did everything. She did the choreography. She decided that they were going to be 80s, and then when Ru came over and was like, oh, you're the captain to Kenya, and then Milan started talking.
Yes, I
am. And then Ru was like, Kenya, do you have anything to say? And Kenya was just like, she had nothing to say because she didn't do anything.
So my favorite moment of the week was Miss RuPaul plugging everything she has ever done in her entire career in this one episode. Every episode, there's always a little hint of, and you can buy that on iTunes or check that out on Amazon. But this was, she did well.
It was full-on promotion for both of her albums.
This might as well have been an infomercial for her, the entire episode. But we love it.
Okay, my second favorite moment of the week was all the way in the Untucked show because the episodes have been a little lackluster. But Willem and Milan got into this huge fight over Milan taking over for Kenya. I just thought their whole argument was funny. Both of them have like strong personalities. Willem is very funny, even though I don't like Willem. The whole makeup thing is still not together. But their argument was hilarious. My favorite moment from their argument was Willem was like trying to talk. Milan was talking back to Willem and then got on the floor and was like, now I'm on your level because you're so beneath me, I have to get on the floor. It was like genius.
Moving on to my next favorite moment was Chad Michaels' makeup. She always has really good makeup. She always comes out looking very glamorous. But with that whole gold forehead thing, I thought that was amazing. That was just something that I don't know if I've ever seen that before. And I really liked the spin on the whole gold and platinum thing with the gold makeup. So that was definitely my favorite moment.
My last favorite moment, but not least, is just the whole Untucked show. That show is almost better than the actual show.
At least this week it was.
Most weeks for me it's almost better. But sometimes I feel like Untucked should be longer than 30 minutes.
And my last favorite moment was, and I'll say to start, up to this point have had really no faith in Dita Ritz, I'm sorry, but her lip sync killed it. She was amazing, and I want her to actually hold the promise that she's actually going to bring that more, because in her challenge she was pretty horrible. She was just really boring, kind of like did the same thing over and over and over again despite how many times they asked her to do more. And that, I guess it took Natalie Cole to get her to go. I think it took that to actually like light a fire under her, and hopefully she actually keeps that going.
And get her looks together because, please, she never looks nice.
So what was your favorite shade moment of the week?
Favorite shade moment of the week from me is Kenya to Madame LaQueer, the Puerto Ricans fighting. Because in one part it was like Madame LaQueer, they pan to Madame LaQueer and she's like, I'm so sad that Kenya doesn't support me because Puerto Rico should be united. And then they cut to Kenya and Kenya's like, I don't like her. No one in Puerto Rico likes her. She's not a good example for Puerto Rico. I'm like, work, bitch. And then LaQueer tries to like give Kenya a high five because she was picked last again. And Kenya just like turned and started talking to the other girls. And
talking to the other girls.
Well, you know, no one can really understand her.
She was making noises. People smiled and nodded.
See?
My favorite show moment has to be what you were talking about before with Milan and Willem's fight during Untucked. they were going at it for most of the episode, and I love when Milan not only gets an insult in there, but also plugs the sponsor and says, "You need to take a sip because you absolutely need to shut up." And you should have been sitting next to it. I heard shrieks. The glass was shattering everywhere.
I was screaming.
It was
genius.
Genius, and it was very good shade, and I hope Milan got some free Absolute gear for that one, because if she didn't, they owe her.
That needs to be in an Absolute commercial.
That was pretty amazing.
Take a sip, because you absolutely need to shut up.
That's good.
Hilarious.
So who was your queen of the week?
Milan was actually my queen of the week, because I feel like this was the first episode that they gave her a lot of TV time, and like they put her to the forefront. In the first 2 episodes, you saw her, but she didn't really have like any real TV time besides like the runway and the challenge. But this episode, she was like all over the place. She took over the challenge. She read Willem, and it was almost the whole episode. Even the Untucked was about Milan. So work, bitch.
I agree, but I have to pick Latrice because
I do like Latrice.
You know, seeing her last week in the Untucked episode and then going right into this week with the episode of Drag Race and Untucked, she is just always there. She's always so level-headed. I've never seen her yell. She's always very like, let me tell you how life is because I've been there. And I just feel like she's the mom of the group. And I love her. I was saying her like while we watched. Yeah, while we were watching the episode, I was saying she's the first like big girl that I've like really loved and has really proven herself. And I think she does very well in the challenges. I think she does very well with her personality, and I think she's just very sweet and genuine. So I really
She a good queen. My favorite costume is Chad Michaels, and okay, I know that like the first episode, I kind of read Chad Michaels, but she is actually really polished and she does a lot of good looks. But this week, I absolutely loved. They were doing like gold. And like Ross said earlier, she had like a gold forehead, and it went into her hair, and her dress was flawless, her makeup was great. I thought she looked the best she's ever looked, for me anyway. Even better than her share, for me. I thought she looked real good.
She might not like that comment.
Sorry.
My favorite costume of the week is a tie, which has never been done before, and what's the tea? History. It's a tie between Miss RuPaul herself, but not in that glamorous little silver thing, but her suit, and I say this every time watching this episode, her suits, if I could raid one person's closet and then have them hemmed like 3 feet shorter because she's really tall, I would raid RuPaul's closet. Her suits are amazing, and this one was probably the best I've ever seen. It was like, I don't even know.
Was it like floral?
It was very like floral.
It was very like
couch from the 1970s.
Yeah, it was almost like Versace. How Versace does like the loud floral prints, and they have like the jacket that matches the pants. It was very like that.
I loved it. And it's a tie also between Sharon Needles, because she was very creative. I liked her little Swarovski crystal Elvis coif thing with her whole like man-woman androgyny outfit. I thought it was awesome. I think she killed it. And so it's a tie between those two.
I like that. Okay, well, Sharon won this week. I think it's funny that she won because Fifi O'Hara kind of was trying to throw her under the bus with that, because she was like, do your one character, that's all you know how to do. And then she won, so, bloop, sorry Fifi. It backfired. It kind of backfired on you.
I'm glad. You know, I think that she took her little, like, you know, brushing off and ran with it. Obviously, I think it was a very big mistake for Fifi to be like, oh, she'll do that one character she's really good at, and that'll make her look bad. Because obviously she's going to kill a character that she's got, because it's amazing. And I think she looked amazing. I think she did it very Sharon Needles, and I think Rue appreciated it, and that's why she won, and I think it was much deserved.
And in the bottom 2, we had Dita
Princess.
Reeds. Yeah, and the princess.
Yeah.
Well, even though...
Allow me. Dita's a mess.
Yes!
Princess, I feel like she could do so much more, but every time she has to lip sync for her life, she just stands there and and I get it, like, I'm sure that in her head she's like, yes, I'm giving, like, beauty and I'm giving, like, glamour, but, like, especially seeing what Dita was doing, which obviously was amazing. She should have stepped it up, and she didn't last time, and she didn't this time, And so I have to say, of those two, just based on that lip sync, she had to go home. But I'm kind of pissed about it because I feel like she does really awesome stuff, and I would have liked to see her.
I didn't think she should have been in the bottom two in the first place. I think it should have been someone else, but we'll get to that when we talk about our predictions. But Dita Ritz, I give you all the props because that was a fierce lip sync. But you deserved to be in the bottom two because you just look a mess. During the challenge, you looked a mess. She had on like a librarian sweater and a side ponytail, and she did horribly, and they kept saying, "You're doing horribly," and she kept doing the same horrible thing, and then she came on the runway with some fucking brown bob, or whatever color it was. It was just ugly.
It was pretty bad.
And she had on like these pom-pom shorts, and they showed her ass, and she has like, it was just nasty. I can't. I don't know why, she just rubs me the wrong way, I just don't. But her lip sync is fierce. If she got like her look together, she would be a contender, but her look is just not. But anyway, she did send the princess home because she did turn that. What did they do? This Will Be by Natalie Cole. This will be an everlasting love.
Shantae, you stay.
Shantae, you stay, Dita Ritz.
So my predictions for next week, which I think we both agree on, because we a little bit spoke about this before, is the bottom two will be Dita, and I'm kind of hoping that Madame LaQueer.
I don't understand how she has not been in the bottom two yet.
Every week I'll watch the episode, and the first time they cut to her, I ask myself, who is that woman? And then I remember that she's on the show, and then I wonder why she's on the show. She doesn't bring anything. Like, there's nothing like,
She
I don't
can't
remember.
even keep her shoes on.
No. I just watched this episode, and I don't remember a thing she did other than take her damn shoes off. She just kind of is there, and she looked kind of a mess.
They called her Fungus. If you call someone Fungus, how are they not in the bottom two?
I don't understand why she's there. I'm hoping that maybe at one point we're shown why she's there, but I don't think that'll be any.
She had on stretch aluminum foil. She looked disgusting.
So that's my prediction.
Those are my predictions too.
Dita and
Dita's gonna be in it again, and whoever she's in it with, if they don't bring it, she's probably gonna send them home because she's a fierce lip singer.
So we will see what happens next week. Stay tuned, and don't forget to watch us on What's
the Tea? Bye.
What's the tea? You tell me what's the tea. What's the tea? You tell me what's the tea.
To Mimi, I'm first. Drag is not a contact sport. And then they made a whole episode around it.